villain.
Okay, so I'm actually interested in what the discussion is going to be like. I just invited Mr. Harvey. Mr. Harvey, I don't know where you. I don't know if you can hear us yet. I think he's in Cape Town. Yeah. But okay, cool. Mr. Jordan, I'm gonna hand the floor over to you.
Take it. Cool, man. Thank you so much. No, I was just letting you guys get acquainted, seems to be clicking very well. That works for me.
Hey, bruh, money talks.
Yeah, we're not just here to talk about money, we're here to talk about development as well. As you can see, Tim, this is one of the reasons why I wanted Dylan on this. He's a young person who I wish I was like at that age. Hello, Mr. Harvey.
Hello. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can, man. Yes, please keep your mic on, bro. You will probably want to contribute to the discussion. And by the way, just so everyone is aware, I don't want to get sued. Everyone is being recorded. This is for documentary purposes. So recording has started. But yeah, Mr. Jordan, over to you, bro.
Yeah, okay. So basically, one of the discussions, one of the points of the discussion today, I wanted us to speak about development. So we've been going through it for a couple of months, a lot about self-development. One of the things I wanted to find out, guys, when it comes to self-development, you're always going to get to a stage where everything is going well, right? Things are just clicking, things are just happening, and then somehow, some way, things go to dust, right? Something goes wrong and everything just goes beep. So what I wanted to ask from the group, how do you then pick yourself up from a situation like that, right? In terms of what do you actually physically do, right? You don't want to come with some quotes. Tell us what you do, right? One of the reasons I wanted Dylan here, because I feel he's someone that's really changed and who's grasped that concept for when he was going through a very difficult time in his life. Things weren't going right for him. Now, when I look at who he is, he's a young man, he's got his own business. He's so driven to achieve and be something with his life. Just living. So that's why I wanted him here, so he can sort of share in brief detail to give us the whole story, but what it took for you to make that change in your life, right? And why you did it and how you physically went and made it happen. So please, just to put you on the spot for a few minutes.
Put me on the spot, it's okay. Jordan knows the story. Jordan knows me pretty well. To be honest with you guys, there's, I think, maybe 2 or 3 things that really drive me, that keep me on the track. Because like Jordan said, things go well and then poof, and it's past, and I've come across that a lot, like where, I get something going and it's good and then it flops, and then I get another thing going and it's good and then it flops, and I'll profit or I'll gain, and not only money but characteristics, traits, skills, all of that shit. Yeah, if there's one thing about me that I gather a lot is skills. I learn quick, and I like to learn, because the more I learn, the more I can do. The more I can do, the more I can teach. The more I teach, the more I grow the people around me, the more it grows me. So for me, the number one thing is always just remembering where I came from and where I don't want to be. Because if you know where you don't want to be, you'll make sure for a fact that you're not there, that you don't put yourself there. The other thing that I really, really believe in a lot is confidence. Confidence has got me through so much. It's crazy. I've seen it with girls. I've seen it with guys. I've seen it with everything. Just even police officers. I'm sure you guys know. Get pulled over by a cop, and if you're confident, bro, the guy can see it, and he talks to you like a normal person, and he can see, okay, this guy carries himself well. There's no need to cause any more shit. His head is screwed on, my head is screwed on. We know what's what. So confidence, like I actually said to my younger stepbrother, Zach, show the world your confidence and they'll fear it. They'll fear it so much so that it works in your favor. And
Wow.
just to break that down a little bit, you know, why I say confidence is key is because when you're confident, it makes people tremble. Even confident people can tremble under the confidence of another. So I can walk into a club and see many confident men, confident that they are going to get a woman tonight. Just a brief example. And just because I carry myself a certain way, it will dull their mood. It will initiate fear in them. Fear so much so that it benefits me, the confident one. So with everything you do, just be confident, because if you're confident, you know for a fact that your facts are right. You're confident in that. You know for a fact that you've done the time in whatever it needs to be. I've studied, I've put the hours in, I've made sure that the product I'm delivering to the client is the best it can be. I'm confident that I'm giving you something that you want to pay for. I'm confident that the way I talk to you is going to get my point across. I'm confident that you're hearing me. Everything is just confidence. The more confident you are in yourself, in the things that you do, it just gives you a really, really good way of life, because you will make sure, when you cook, you make sure you do it properly because you're confident in it. You want to be confident in it. The more you strive for that, the better off you are. So I'd honestly just say, just knowing where I come from, the struggles I've been through, because that should always remind me, I used to wake up in the middle of the night, see my mom and my dad there, arguing, stressing, money, all that shit. And then, I just one day woke up and said to myself, I know I'm a kid. I know at the time, I know I'm a kid. But what is this whole thing of being a kid, in comparison to an adult, and the fact that because you're a kid, you can't do this and you can't do that. And that's one thing I've been telling a lot of young people about, is that, your parents always tell you this shit, things of go to school, you must go to university, blah, blah, blah. But never do they tell you when you're in school, in university, in high school, get a job, a part-time job. They never really set us up properly, if you know what I'm saying. Because if that were the case, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Okay, so can I ask, do you think that's one of the issues that we as a younger generation have to change? Because I feel like if I were your mindset at your age, when I was your age, I would be a totally different person now. Because what you're saying is completely true. I had the exact same issue. Like my mother also forced me to go to university and stuff, even though my whole plan was different, And when I look back, I wish that I had just stuck to what I wanted to do. So do you think that when it comes to the stage of defying your parents, when it comes to those certain type of aspects, is that what you need to do? Or do some parents aren't horrible at that? They just want to support you. They just want the best for you. They just want you to do what they never had the opportunity to do. So how do you think it plays out better?
Now what? That you've been through I'm a naughty motherfucker. Sorry to swear. But I'm naughty as shit. Jordan, I defied my parents and I'm happy at it. I'm happy because I got to do the things I wanted to do. I mean, I die tomorrow and I wanted to go ice skating today. And they said no. Why? I'm paying for it. I'm making a plan to get there. I jump on my bicycle. I ride there. Pay, I skate. I come back. I'm safe. Why? Why are you stopping me? So yes, I do understand that parents are looking out for you, but you're your own person. You're your own person. You can judge a situation for yourself. Whether you judge it well or whether you judge it like crap, that is entirely up to you. And that's where learning and living comes in to this whole topic. If you don't learn and you don't live, then you don't grow. And to learn and live, you have to defy. You have to. There's no way around it.
What do you think,
there's
Mr.
no
Harvey?
way.
Do you agree? Sorry to cut you.
No,
Wanna bring
I
Mr.
definitely
Harvey into
agree.
it?
So while he's busy talking now, I'm just thinking of the fact that I don't know if any of you have kids or whatever. I don't have kids myself, but if you have kids, you'll understand that from the parent side of you, you want to do the best you can to protect them. So you don't want your child to be put into bad situations. You don't want your child to be sort of going down the wrong path where you're watching them go down the wrong path and you're like, I didn't want this for my life and now I can see you doing the same thing. So as a parent, you want to do everything you can to protect. And like I can see, especially from like the parent generation, so before my time, because the majority of them wouldn't have had access to sort of decent schooling or the opportunity to go to university or to seek higher education, for whatever reason that may have been. I think a lot of parents or our parent age would be trying to push us in that direction because they didn't get that chance. So they see that as sort of like the way out, the way that you can support yourself, the way that you can set up a better life for yourself than they had, and so on and so forth. But I like what Dylan's saying about the defying the parenting, because I'm very fond of nature. I'm very fond of biology, like just the entire process of nature. And at no point does let's just talk from a male point of view. At no point does a male offspring or animal stay with its group for the rest of its life. It gets to a certain age and either it gets kicked out or it leaves of its own like accord. And I think that the reason for that is because as you grow, you naturally sort of need to go find your own space. You naturally need to find who you are and what you need to be doing. There is a time when you are under your parents' protection, when you are a lion, for example, with the pride, and the pride is protecting you. But there's definitely a time where you need to leave, go start your own family, go find your own, make your own kills, make your own food, whatever the case may be. So I can see it from both points of view, where you need to be defiant because you need to find your own space. But at the same time, I understand it from the other side as well, where they're just trying to protect.
Okay, so like the tip, do you also want to edify it?
Yeah, let me just jump in there. I think
Jump in, man.
I'm a parent as well, right? So something that I've noticed about myself, I can only teach my son based on the information that I have. So you find a lot of parents, they will do that exact same thing. So they might have not gone to university and they've seen other people prosper because, well, they think it's because they went to university that they're prospering. So what your parents will naturally try to do is get you there where they couldn't have gotten themselves. Right? So they try and like hear you and try and navigate you towards that path. But it's just because that's the information that they have. And if you look at in this current generation, we have a lot more access to information. I can learn exactly like what Michael was saying now. I can learn about the state of biology and decide to go and study that or decide for that to become my passion. But at the time, your parents might have only known about accountancy and might have only known about administration, about office jobs and about government jobs. But there's so much new things that are out there. So they can't teach you that. And this is why I think it's absolutely important that you do defy your parents, not in a disrespectful way, but just in a way that, like, I love what Mr. Dillon was saying about self-confidence. Self-confidence stems from you knowing what it is that you want to achieve and maybe how you want to achieve it. The thing is, only you can know that. No one else can. So you have to believe in that completely. And you will find as soon as you believe in that and you act on that belief, you will be defying everyone anyway. You will find that you'll defy your parents, you'll defy your best friends, you'll probably defy your spouse as well because of this belief that you have. in whatever it is that you are after. Yeah.
Definitely. Cool, man. Just to bring it a little bit back to topic, I had asked Dylan about, steps that you take when you get pushed off the path. He gave us some tips. Mr. Harvey, what tips would you have for us when we get pushed off the path?
So personally, and I can say it's definitely a blessing for me. I haven't been pushed off my path too often in life. But I can say that the times where I have been sort of thrown off by what the world has thrown at me, I think what's played a major role in me being able to get back on my path is like a support structure. That is without a doubt one of the most important things for me. The fact that I had, in my case, my family was always there to support me. So when I started my first job, and it was the first like working experience, I had no idea that work could be stressful. Up until that point in my life, my biggest stress was a test that I had to study for at varsity. And it was kind of like, I'll study for it tomorrow. And everything turned out okay. Whereas now you're in a work environment, there's deadlines, people are expecting things from you. And it's like, if you miss those deadlines, there's consequences. Like a lot worse than if you had missed a test and it's like, okay, fine, I'll do like the sup or I'll do whatever I can. And so when that stress hit, it was hectic, and it was kind of like difficult to deal with that in that space, and that threw me off of like the path that I set out in my mind that I thought I had. And the best way for me to get back on that path was, like I said, support structure, family. They were there for me if, so I'm a teacher. If I needed help with marking, for example, then I had the simpler questions, and my sister would always offer to like do a few questions here and there while I caught up on the other work that I had to do. While I'm setting the one test, she can be like helping to like mark a few things on the side. My family, if I need to go print something in the last minute, my family was very willing to sort of help me get to the printing shop where I needed to go get things printed and sorted out. So I think support structure is major for me in enabling you to get back on track when you are sort of thrown off. Other than that, I think there's quite a few different things in life, but that's what stands out for me the most as helping me get back. Yeah.
Perfect. And you, Tiff?
Something that I found, and I only found this out recently, right? So, because there's a lot of distractions in life. So you set yourself the vision. We've covered all of those things, Mr. Jordan. We set the vision, and now we know what it is that we want to achieve. But there's so much of distractions, right? So something that I found that is really helping me keep focus, if I can say it like that, because that's exactly what life throws at you. It just throws at you different distractions that you now need to decide what is really important for you to focus on. So something that I found that works, and it's working so well for me, is I'm prioritizing. That's really it. I'm prioritizing. I'm deciding for myself what is important, what needs to be done now, and all these other distractions. Like there's crazy ideas that come up in my mind, and I want to jump on it, but I have to think about it and tell myself no. Like that's a distraction right now. It's a great thing, but it's a distraction. So prioritizing is something that I found that works wonders. If you have a goal or you have a vision and you're after something and there's so much of distractions, prioritize. Like there's things that will help you get to where you want to go, and there's things that just plain and simple will not. So you need to prioritize. And even if you do get knocked off the path, begin to prioritize the goal again, or begin to prioritize the things that will get you to your goal. And I think you'll always find your way back onto the path that you are saying. Yeah.
So if I can also give one of the things that I really learned was a physical action was writing things down, right? So I think I watched a lecture or something. I can't remember what it was, but the guy basically said, and it's something I think Dylan and I are actually doing for the last 6 months of this year. Set target, Dylan is. So it's basically like write 10 things down that you want to do, right? 10 goals, right? Pick the easiest one, focus on it, and do it, right?
Loud.
So that's basically what, for me,
Oh.
for these last 6 months of this year, 5 months now, 10 goals written down on a piece of paper, stuck there, and just go for the easiest one. By the time you get to the bottom, I mean, it'll be a few months, 3 months, 4 months, and you've done everything. Yeah, you'll see, dude. You'll see. So it's something very similar like that. You know, a physical action that keeps you focused. You know, I really think that's very important, because yes, it's easy to have the vision in your mind, but to actually see, you know, what's in front of you keeps you motivated, keeps you focused on doing something, keeps you focused on what it takes to get there. So yeah, no, definitely. Dylan, do you have any other tips for us?
Yo, guys, I don't know. I could
So we can
probably
I
pass
have a question, bro.
Yeah, go ask a question.
I have a question, and it's for Mr. Dylan. Man, you've actually, okay, based on what Mr. Jordan was saying, you are the one who presented that idea to him about writing the 10 goals down. I want to find out from you, man, where did you come up with that? Like, yeah, how did you figure that out? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
It comes actually from grade 10, life orientation. You know?
Okay.
Like-
Basic answer. You want to explain?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Like, oh, okay.
That's where I got it from. That's exactly where I got it from.
Oh,
And I never really studied. I never studied for a lot of shit. I was always that kid, gets home, Xbox, games, bicycle, cars, toys, you know.
Motorbike.
But one thing I did do was listen in class. And for sure, that exact thing came up where, you know, they taught us life skills, and they said to us, if you want to achieve something, make yourself a list, write it down, and, you know, go for it and try your best. If you fail, do it again. And, you know, that whole thing of, you know, you fail until you get it right type of a thing, because once you get it right, you've got it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was never really one to write it down and be like, I want to achieve that goal, I want to achieve this, I want to do that. It was always just a thing of, hey, you know, I want to buy myself an Xbox. It's a goal. It's a goal. And I've always been goal driven. I just didn't know it. You know, just went along with the everyday mundane shit. I wanna gym. I wanna get buff. I want a girlfriend. I want this. I want, you know, it was always I want. But it was never, okay, how do I get that? How do I formulate my life in such a way that I go and I get it? You know?
Important question.
And then university came, high school ended, I got a job, and I went out there and I got it. I didn't ask, I didn't work for it. I just walked into someone's shop and I was like, listen, I want a job and I've got a year, I'm doing nothing. I can do whatever you want. I guarantee you now, I legit said this to the guy, I guarantee you now I can do whatever it is you want. You give me a task. If I can't do it, give me a few weeks to learn it and I'll do it. And for sure, I started as his gardener. I was cleaning the yard, washing the cars, you know? And then he asked me, do you have a license? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I drive my car to work every day. And he was like, oh yeah. And then, you know, from there, it just grew and just grew. And then that's where it started, was now, you know, I had a stepping stone, which I created myself through confidence.
Yeah.
And still, I never wrote down shit. I never wrote down anything. I just went for it, and I was like, I want that, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to get it. And then one day, I went to youth, and the lady said, guys, I want you to write to your future self. And I wrote to my future self. And funny enough, I closed it, I put it in the envelope, and I kept it. And then I was like, nah, fuck this, I don't want this thing. And I gave it to my girlfriend. And she gave it to me. And I completely forgot what I wrote. Completely.
Wow.
I opened that thing and hold on.
Got the evidence.
Right here.
Oh, it's actually got you now. Folder, laminated. Oh, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
I wrote the date on it, when I wrote it, and wrote when it should be opened. Right? I opened this thing and I wrote down 3 goals. Okay? You don't need to know what the goals are. That's besides the point. Whatever your goals are is whatever your goals are. You could want to become a drug dealer. It's your goal. I wrote it down, and these are the words that I wrote down. With these 3 goals set ahead of me that I know you will achieve. This is me speaking to myself. When achieved, know that nothing in life will stop you. And know that if you achieve these 3 things in your life, everything else will fall into place. See you soon, future self. And that's what I wrote. That's what I wrote to myself. And when I opened this thing, I realized, I was like, come on, guys. Everything I wanted to do, that I've set my mind to, that I said, is a goal. I did.
Yeah.
I did, and I achieved it.
And
now,
how old were you when you wrote that letter?
I think I was. Yeah. I was 21.
Insane. I was
21.
And you're old now. How old are you now? 20?
I'm 24.
24. How I wish I had that focus at that age, When I was 21, what about the exams,
and university. It's all because of what I was put through, the situations I was put in. And I mean, I can't. Everyone is different. I can't give you the situations I've been in. There's no ways you'll ever achieve it. But it's what you make of the situation. It's how your brain adapts itself. Because, like I was telling Jordan, beginning of the year, I started a job. I wrote myself down 5 things that I wanted to achieve in 6 months. And without a doubt, in like the last month, I achieved all 6. And I was very doubtful. I was like, if this is going to happen, but I mean, yeah, it's going to happen. And I did it. And those were the first ones that I wrote down. And I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome. Like the amount of growth that I have experienced this year is mad. It's mad. I mean, I've done shit. For a 24-year-old, I've done.
It's amazing, dude. It's amazing.
I mean, I took my girlfriend and myself overseas to Australia. I had no job. I was studying. I was doing my second year in university, and I wanted to go for my sister's wedding. And I didn't know where I was going to get the money. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I remember saying to her, I remember my words specifically. I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If it's something that we want to do, we will do it. If it happens, it happens. And we've achieved it. Yay. Pats on the back. If we don't, we just carry on. It's not the end of the world. And without a doubt, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. But I never applied for a visa. I've never saved that much money in my life. But I did it. I did it for a holiday. And then it made me think, if I can do it for a holiday, why can't I do it for, my life, for my future?
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just, like I said, nothing will stop me. Like I wrote to myself, there's nothing that will stop me. There's nothing. I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve. And that's just written in stone.
Congratulations, man. Okay, thank you for blowing us away with your mind stories.
Yeah.
I can see Tevin is even holding his head. He's like,
That's
wow.
really good.
Hey,
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah,
man. Just waiting for your Teva's net to catch up.
great. That's no, I
No, your network is just
didn't
horrible.
say
Tev, sorry.
anything. I'm with you. No, my network is fine, guys. Don't do this again. Don't do this again.
you're the only one that's
Am I
You're the
frozen.
only one that's lagging.
Yeah, we all
am I
fine.
lagging?
Your network is just
What?
sorry, man. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, guys,
Let
you
me
know,
see if I
got about
do.
2 minutes left. If anyone wants to say some closing statements, Mr. Harvey, I think it was really great for you to come up on the show with us. What's happening now? Yeah, is there anything you would like to say before we close out?
Not too much. Yeah, I think from what Dylan's been saying, it's actually quite powerful to think that something that is taught to you in like life orientation class, for example, when you're just sitting there listening, is something that you can apply into your life and actually comes through and helps you in such a big way. But I think what's most important is the fact that you were dedicated to what you wanted. Like, it's great to set goals. It's brilliant to put everything out in front of you and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, if you don't apply yourself and you don't actually work towards those goals, then I think that's where things start to fall apart for the most part. So I think just for anybody out there, maybe listening, dedication. Stick to your path, keep moving forward.
Yeah, definitely, man. Mr. Tev, are you back with us now? No, not yet. Okay.
Yeah, for a second, he was gone.
Almost,
I'm
almost.
good, man. I don't want to say anything. I'm just gonna say this. No, I want to say,
Okay.
right? This is what I want to say. I'm gonna try the 6-month goal, Mr. Dillon, and see what that does. Jordan and I are in contact all the time, so you'll be able to let you know whether what you're saying is real or not. But I want to test this thing.
I'm gonna be here.
Because I know if it works for you, and it's a principle. What you've mentioned is principle. And what's something that I love about principle? Yeah. Okay, power. No power. Then I'll give you feedback.
It literally says Tevin Lichner's network bandwidth is low. 72. Anyway, agreed. Guys, thank you so much. I think this was a very great session. If we all, I think, Dylan and I have already set in stone that we've set out our 6 months. Mr. Harvey, I will invite you to do the same, bro. Be doing this every week. We can have a nice feedback session. It's nice to actually see a different group of people. Last week was a different group of people. So hopefully we're all gonna bash and meet together, and have a nice huge group.
One day have a full meeting.
They've been saying that. I'm telling you, last week was lit. So was today. Today was awesome, guys. I mean, I think it was really fun.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, all of us bouncing our things and our stories. I hope you all learned from one another. I think Tev has recorded this meeting as well as posting it live on YouTube. So if you want a link, just ask him. I'm sure he'll pop it through to you. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot. Tev, if you can hear us, enjoy your evening, bro. Mr. Dylan, thank you so much for coming.
Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to ask.
Yes.
Even if you don't have a 6-month goal, just one simple goal. What is each of your very achievable goals that you'd like to do in the next 6 months? Just one thing.
I can go first. Is to get my license.
License. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
License.
Yeah, can you imagine?
It's achievable. It's achievable, definitely. Wow,
Yeah,
I mean, Corona time, who knows?
Yeah, you never know, Yeah. As insane as it sounds, that's my license,
Yeah, I know you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Definitely can be done. Definitely can be done.
Yeah.
Harvey,
I'll go for, I think on my side, I've started a bit of a side hustle, but I've been hesitant to actually dive fully into it. So I think for me, within the next, I'd say 2 or 3 months at least, I'm going to dive fully into it and actually apply myself to to starting on it. I'm not expecting any growth from it just yet, just getting myself into it and getting that first step in so I can get going.
That's how it starts, man. Just take that. Once you take that
no.
first step, it's like a snowball effect. I promise you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then you'll never be scared to take that step again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Chief,
I'm gonna go for a big one. I'm gonna launch my 6-month plan is to launch the Pro Arena Sports brand. Actually launch it. So that's gonna be my goal.
Go for it.
I'm with you there. 100%. All right,
So
guys. Okay, sorry, Dylan. Go.
sorry, yeah. Mine is to get back
What
in the
about you?
gym.
Ah,
The gym.
It's
repeat your
a
last
simple
week.
thing.
I'm gonna say add that to mine also.
It's a simple thing, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It is, dude. It is.
And that's where that whole discipline of consistency and all of that comes in. I mean, I've got a whole gym here. I built an entire gym for myself, but I barely use it.
Bring it to my
So-
house. We'll use it for you.
Gotta use it, man.
Yeah, no, you're the
Gotta use
reason
it.
why I built the gym.
You know?
But yeah, no, I mean, I am fit. I ride my bike every day, but I lost weight. So that's mine. So in the next 6 months, guys, if you don't see muscles and shit,
You'll know.
Slacking.
We'll know.
punishment
That will
is
be the
in order
evidence.
somehow, some way. Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So I think now, guys, we are all happy. At least we're all leaving smiling. So thank you all so much for showing up. Next week, Tiff and I, we will let you guys know. Please do show up. We can have more fun like this. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Dylan, Mr. Harvey. It was very nice meeting you. And as always,
Thank you so
Mr.
much
Tiff.
for having us, man.
No, dude.
Peace, man.
Okay. Same time next week.
Jordan, please remind.
I will send you the link. Don't worry.
No way.